Welcome to Travel in a Minute Extended Version. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about El Dorado Seaside Suites and a little bit about El Dorado Seaside Palms. We had the privilege of being there just a few short weeks ago, and we're going to give you our thoughts on these resorts. So El Dorado Seaside Suites and El Dorado Seaside Palms are roughly about 2 hours from the Cancun airport. We did do a shared shuttle for that. I probably wouldn't suggest that for everyone because they made several hotel stops.
Yeah, private one's a little nicer.
Private one would have been a little bit nicer. You would have got there a little bit quicker, and would have had those extra amenities that go with that. But
it was a good ride, though.
Yeah,
so
it was a good ride.
There was a lot of construction going on.
Yes, there is a lot of construction, especially around the airport. So keep that in mind when you're going to Cancun right now. So anyway, El Dorado Seaside Suites, Seaside Suites and Seaside Palms has one lobby that you enter into. We had a fairly quick check-in.
Yeah.
And the staff was super, super, super sweet. They brought us a drink while we finished checking in, and it was fairly quick.
Yeah, it was a real nice lobby and everything. We'll get
Open
some pictures
air,
and stuff.
yeah.
But open air. There is one of the restaurants in there. They, of course, have a gift shop. Big, beautiful fountain that's in there.
Yes.
Just a nice place to kind of hang out. And we ended up hanging out there even a couple of times during the week.
Yeah.
But it was... it was good. Nice to get in the room pretty quickly, so that was great.
Also, to let you know, they do destination weddings at El Dorado, and right there in the lobby is the destination wedding facility where you can go in and talk to the staff there. It was really, really nice. That does have to have an appointment. They're not there all the time. So if you're thinking about that destination wedding, it's a really great place to do that. We actually stayed in the Seaside Suites side.
So this, by the way, this complex is really big.
It's big.
It's,
yeah.
what is it, 3 different things kind of in one.
3 different resorts in one.
But it really spreads out. And of course, we'll go over kind of a little bit with each one and everything. But it was really big. But on the Seaside was really nice.
Seaside Suites is where we were. All of the rooms on Seaside Suites are swim outs. You do have swim out on every floor. It's really amazing. Really cool. Yes. So we spent a lot of our time in our swim out. Now, just to let you know, these are not private swim outs. The swim out extends the full length of the building, so you will share it with your neighbors. We never really, maybe once saw our neighbors out there. We were never really ever out there at the same time.
Yeah, people use it in different ways. It was really cool. Imagine it, and of course we'll throw some pictures up and everything, but basically it was, imagine about a 5-foot wide pool, roughly, basically. Get a normal hotel that's a beachfront hotel, but you stick a 5-foot wide pool on the front of it, and it goes the length of the hotel. It was really cool. You could swim back and forth. We did go from end to end and everything. Yeah. But I think you're probably more so supposed to stay in your area. We did a lot of pool watching and stuff like that. We were we were on the 4th floor.
We were on the 4th floor,
and,
above the pool, above a large pool, large infinity pool. Also, Chris just talked about it, but every room is oceanfront, so you can see the ocean from your balcony and your swim out, which is really, really nice.
Great way to wake up.
Very beautiful views in the morning. At sunrise and also in the evening at sunset.
There on the balcony, there's a couple of chairs and things like that. Also a little, I guess, a lounger or something like that. You can lay down, just listen to the beach, and it's great.
Really, really nice. Yeah. Okay, so if you're a pool person, which I am, you're gonna love this pool. This pool is amazing. It's very long. And it is an infinity pool. You can literally sit right there on the edge and see the ocean, which is one of my favorite things to do.
Where it's at, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but where it's at, you definitely can see the ocean very well. However, we are kind of right at the upper part of where there's a lot of palm trees. The palm trees in this place are amazing.
Amazing,
and
yes.
We'll get some pictures, but it's just, they are everywhere. You've got great views and stuff like that, but you are kind of looking through it, but it's so pretty.
It's
gorgeous.
So
peaceful.
It's gorgeous,
this place is, talk about a good place to relax.
Yeah, and that's what we did.
We needed it. We had a lot of stuff going on, so it was good.
So back to the pool. The pool is phenomenal. It has a great swim up bar. The staff at the bar was always so fun to be around. The entertainment staff was amazing. They all the time had something going on.
They did aerobics.
Yeah.
They also had different DJs and stuff like that. Different styles of music. It's not a lot of times that was one thing I was impressed with, because sometimes it sticks with a single style, especially, you go to Caribbean, you go to, something like that. A lot of times you're thinking you're only going to be having Caribbean music, which is fine. But at the same time, it was kind of interesting. You had a lot of, I'm going to say pop American artists, but then I remember one day I was kind of surprised. I heard they were playing like country music one day.
Yeah.
And so that was unusual, but it was cool because, depending on your style that you like.
And I think it also depends on the clientele that's there as well. The people, what they ask for, because they were really good about interacting with the guests, and the staff. The entertainment staff was right there. One day there was a foam party. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The pool was full that day.
Well, in the foam, you kind of had they had this cannon-like thing that's shooting it out, and it was really great, and a lot of swimming going on. People coming up with their little foam beards and things like that.
A lot of talking, socializing.
There was a great mixture of people that were there from all different places, and so that's always
there
really
was
nice
people
to
from
see.
Europe, people from America, people from the South, people from the North, Canada.
Yeah.
People from all over, and they were all interacting and having conversations together. It was really, really, really a great atmosphere.
What was it that kind of drew us to this one? Yes, of course, it's absolutely beautiful and everything, but there was one little thing that was something that really drew our attention, and it was the cost.
Oh yeah,
it was something.
It was very cost effective.
We don't usually say amounts and everything, but when you're making a comparison on this one, I mean, it was very inexpensive in comparison to other stuff.
So, also, just to let you know, on the Seaside Suites side of the resort, the beach is not swimmable. There's a lot of rocks. There's like a rock wall. But they do an amazing job at giving you the beach experience, because there were bolly beds for days.
Yeah.
And we never really had to look for a place to sit or lie.
Now, there were people that did go swim. Well, but it was a place to where you could go out, but at the same time, you need to understand it is going to be rocky or whatever. But there were people that were going out and they were looking for little creatures and stuff like that. Because I saw some at one point where people were looking for critters and different things like that in the water.
The restaurant right there underneath the pool was phenomenal. We had it, I think, 2 days for lunch.
Yeah, really good.
Really, really good.
Staff was great.
Yeah, staff was great. I did not have anything I did not like.
No, the food here was. Matter of fact, we had actually heard that it wasn't anything great.
Yeah,
and we had several meals that were really good.
One great thing about this property too is they had a walk up like taco bar. We didn't get any of that at this side. We got some on the Palm side, but we didn't get any on this side. But a lot of the guests talked about how they love that. Walk up, get your tacos, and go back to the pool. Because if you're a pool person, this is the resort for you. It has a great pool.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to that, from that, we're going to move over to the Seaside Palms side. Now, that is your beach side, guys. That's where you're going to go if you want to get in the water. It's very calm.
Pretty shallow.
It has a man-made kind of reef thing that protects it from the waves and things like that. We saw some fish.
Yeah, there
were people feeding the fish. I'm not sure if they were supposed to do that or not.
Well, there was one lady I know. She had a couple of rolls, and she was out almost all the way out to where the artificial reef was at.
Yeah.
But she was throwing them down. And they actually had. I'm not sure that this was a good thing, but they said that they had a grouper came in right there, and so
Well, they said they also saw barracuda, which
barracuda. That was what it was.
Barracuda.
Yeah.
I was not going out there for that.
But there were a lot of people that were around over there and around where that was happening. A lot of small fish. Probably. When I say small, they were probably 6-7 inches long, so they weren't necessarily tiny.
Yeah.
But they were a lot of the ones that were almost like the transparent or something like that. I don't know what kind of fish they were. They were water fish, I think, is what they were.
No, we're not fish. We're not.
Yeah.
We don't know anything
about
fish.
They weren't goldfish. I know they weren't goldfish, and they were not largemouth bass. So I know what they weren't, and no sharks. So that was good. But it was really nice, and the water,
beautiful
the temperature. The temperature, now we're there in July, end of July, 1st of August, it was the time that we were there, and it was probably in the 90s every day, and the water was not cold. A lot of times, you'll get in, it'll be hot outside, you'll get in. It was comfortable. It wasn't uncomfortable at all, but it was a little warmer than what you would typically have. But in July, that's how it is. We usually go, it's around our anniversary, and that's pretty much how it is. You go other times of the year, it's a lot different. The pool water was a little more refreshing, but it's also, it's pool water. So, but it was really nice.
Also in that on their beach area, they had a beach barbecue.
Yeah.
We had it for lunch. It was amazing. I love ceviche, and so the whole time we're there, I'm like, "Where's my ceviche? Where's my ceviche?" Finally found it at the beach barbecue.
What is ceviche? Because that's a word that I'm not familiar with.
I
kept saying it.
Ceviche is a way to cook seafood without cooking it. It's cooked with the acids and juices of like citrus, lime. They use vinegar. They use all kinds of things, and that's how they cook the seafood. It is phenomenal. It's actually very good for you, and so it's one of my favorite things about going to Mexico is getting fresh ceviche. So,
well, there were several opportunities that we had. Of course, obviously they've got burgers and fries, but I mean, you want to get, you want to try the different types of barbecue.
Yeah.
You want to try the different types of seafood. Anytime there's a steak around, regardless of what kind it is, I'm trying that, and so that was nice.
So they also had a restaurant there right on the water. We sat there one morning. Was it morning? I think it may have been lunch. It was lunch. We sat there and ate lunch there as well. They had a little pier that you can walk out on. We had a nice lunch there as well. There's an ice cream parlor right there. We didn't find it until like the 2 days before we were about to leave.
Yeah.
That was one of the, and then right there next to Ice Cream Bar was one of the most popular bars at night. They had karaoke, they had bands, and that band was phenomenal.
Yeah, they were really good.
Yeah, they had a lot of 80s music, which, we grew up in the 80s, so that's what we like. That band was really, really, really good. The guitarist, amazing.
Yeah, they had a lot of really, and played a lot of really good music, and so everything was live. So they did
at night. That seemed to be where most of the people would go and hang out at night, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful view of the ocean. We walked down the pier one night there. We also had the privilege of doing a candlelight dinner right there on the beach as well.
For our 30th.
For our 30th wedding anniversary. Yes, we did. And Chris, you want to tell me about your tomahawk steak?
So walking around the resort, they have the little golf cart deals that are going around, and a lot of times they had ones that had like a refrigeration unit on the back of it, and they kept having this tomahawk steak. Well, I'm definitely a steak guy, but tomahawk, if you're not familiar with it, a tomahawk is basically I think it's pretty much like a big ribeye for the most part, but it's got a bone that it's got, it's like a foot long or 2 foot long, something like that. So anytime there's a big steak, there's no steak that I've ever met that I couldn't conquer. And so, whatever it is, now it's an upcharge. Not gonna say how much it was, but it was definitely pricey. But it was, it was anniversary and stuff like that. So we're gonna get what we want. And but it was really, really, really good. Very, very tender. I mean, and you're talking, it was probably, I would guess, 16 to 20 ounces, something like that. It was a good steak. They did a very good job. It wasn't as big as I thought it would be.
No, it wasn't, but it was.
But it was
I was
good.
worried that it wasn't going to be great because I was like, he was like, "Do you want one?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want one because I don't like if it's tough or whatever." And he gave me a bite, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but all the food was there that night was really good.
So that night we'll show you pictures, but they have little tents, like teepee things that you sit in, and they serve you your dinner there. It's candlelit, obviously.
There's another one that you can do that's a little more private.
Yeah. There's actually several different areas, which I was shocked at that they had so many different. So they had a rock rock pier that had a like a vine woven heart, and you could have your candlelight dinner there. It was lit up. It had like different lights and things. And then also on the Seaside Suites side, they had another little like a pagoda that had a place. It had like this heart that lit up. It was totally beautiful. Chris will show you some pictures of the areas. That is one thing that they offer. So if it's your anniversary or you're a honeymooner, all you have to do is let your travel agent know, and they will add that and book that for you. Just let them know what day you want to do it. We just told them, that we wanted to do it on our anniversary, which was Monday, and the concierge there set it right up for us. We did have to show them our marriage certificate for it to be included.
And we didn't take that, so fortunately our daughter was back
Yeah.
home and we knew where it was at, so she did a picture of it and sent it, and everything was okay.
So our advice to you would be to take it with you, or at least take a picture of it with you, so that you can do that when you're there, because it was really, really, really a nice experience.
And there was no, we didn't get charged extra for doing that, because it was our anniversary, so they did that. So that was nice. I think if it wasn't your anniversary, I got a
there
feeling
is a charge for it.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
yes.
Just FYI, you might want to keep that in mind.
Also, another thing that we did that was a lot of fun for us, we did the spa.
Yeah.
And
never done that before.
With our spa treatment, we actually booked it when we got there. We didn't book it in advance, but you can. Your travel agent can help you with that as well. But we did the, I think it was a 15-minute massage on the beach. We started at the spa with the water circuit.
Now, when you say on the beach, I'm going to show a picture, but when we say on the beach, it's like this big tower-like thing, and you're not literally on the sand. You're actually overlooking the beach. It was better than being on the beach.
We had like the prime spot. It's where we had.
I mean,
I don't know.
Or you could have done it inside the facility, but when they say, "Oh, would you rather do it in a closed-up room, or would you rather do it on the beach?" Yeah, I think the beach is going to win. But now I will say that the facility was awesome,
nice. Yes.
and the rooms that you go in, they had all these cool scents and stuff like that. And so I'm sure that the private room that they would have done it in would have been phenomenal, because everything in there.
Well.
I had never done something like this. You've done it before, so let me say this. I think there's a pretty big variety of stuff that you do when you go in there. There's all kinds of different sensory type things, but there's different smells. A lot of guys don't do these, so this was just something, as a guy going in.
He doesn't do it.
Sometimes people do them, but you had one room that you went in, it was like a steam room basically.
Oh, you're talking about the water circuit.
Yeah, so you go in, you do the steam room and everything, and then you come out of there, and then I guess while your body's nice and hot, you go over into another room, like a cold room, and
which you love because you love.
It was, I do like a freezing chamber type thing that I enjoy doing, but it's like the one I do is negative 165 degrees, and you're standing there basically in your shorts. So what I do is what's really cold. This they called cold, but they don't really know what cold is. So you've done the freezing chamber.
And then they also have like ice. You can put the ice on your body. And,
so we were doing that, but it's just like a stimulation for your senses and pores and all that stuff.
Opens up your pores and detoxes you.
Then you go get in a giant hot tub or whatever. It was kind of like you're swimming around, but but there's different things where you had water pouring out, different jets.
So
it would like massage your neck, or it might massage your lower back.
Yeah.
You had another part where it might as well have been a bed where it had all the bubbles and everything. You laid on it, it kind of hit your whole body. That was great. And of course, then obviously when you think of spa, you think of massage, and that was part of it and everything too. And so it was a good experience. I mean, I enjoyed it, and it was very relaxing. Kind of mind clearing. I think you kind of dozed off because when I got done, you were out of there. So we were laughing at you because you were snoozing, but it's okay.
A little bit.
But when you can relax, it's nice to be able to do that.
Yes. So we haven't talked yet about the rooms on the Seaside Palms side. Mm-hmm. So the Seaside Palms, it's more like casitas, little apartments, rooms. It was a larger area. They had multiple pools.
Yeah. Well, a little more apartment-like than it was hotel-like, if you know what I mean.
Almost, yeah.
And
if you wanted more a little bit separated from the activities, that would be more like where you would want to be, probably. Quieter. Yeah, a little quieter. They had multiple pools. Those pools were usually quieter pools. Yeah. I think the pool at the suites was a lot more rowdy, more activities. Now, every pool had an entertainment staff, and they were all great. We went over to one of the quiet pools one day, and actually we were on the beach.
There was one that had volleyball and things like that.
And they had like a pirate volleyball.
Yeah.
They gave them headbands and they had eye patches and things like that. It looked to be a lot of fun.
Where the main pool that we were talking about that was over at Suites was a little more, I'm not even going to call it party atmosphere because I don't want you to think that this is like a party type place, but at the same time, I mean, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Nice.
It was a really good time every day.
And that's all, of course, now always remember, it also depends on who's there. You know, if you get the right people there, it's going to be a great
right
experience.
Guests are there.
If it's not the right guests, then it could be a little different.
But the walk through the Seaside Palms was very nice. We did it a couple of times. Very peaceful.
Yes. A lot of, like I said, a lot of palm trees, a lot of great facility.
I forgot to tell him about the beach. Chris will show you a picture. At the very end of the beach of the Seaside Palms side, there was a little area. There was a bar. There was chairs where you could sit. Had 2 hammocks and some swings in the water.
Kind of looked like a swing set in the water.
Very relaxing. Great for those Instagram photos or
they had a lot of places that were actually, hey, this is where you need to do a photo for like your Instagram.
I'm going to add my TikTok video soon, so you'll be able to see mine. It's not as great coming from me, but my daughter's would have been phenomenal. But anyway, I forgot to tell you about the area because it was a very peaceful area to hang out.
We were there for we spent a lot of time on the beach or at the pools. That's just kind of seemed like our thing. It was, like I said, if you're looking for somewhere to be able to relax and have a quiet time, you can do it. But that was what was so nice, because if you wanted to have a more active time, you could. Obviously, stuff at the pool.
Yeah.
But one thing I wanted to mention also is where we were at, where we had like the hammocks and swings and stuff like that in the water. We were also looking out, and there were people. They were doing canoes, and they were doing snorkeling, and there were a lot of things along that line. I'm not sure what else other type of water vehicles they had.
Any non-motorized water sport things are included, so you didn't have to pay extra for those things. You just had to reserve them, and their staff was there to help you with those. Let's move on to the food, because we had heard a lot about the food that, you know, was mediocre, not great, blah blah, and I guess that's to each his own. We enjoyed it a lot.
I'm very picky, by the way.
Yeah, Chris
so
is
if
very
I like
picky.
something, it's probably actually good.
Yeah, and he doesn't usually try risky things. He kind of sticks to, you know, chicken nuggets, hamburgers, those kind of things, steaks. Yeah.
But they had a lot of the meals had a soup, and it was kind of cool. Now, if you are someone that enjoys a fancy meal, there were several of these that were what I would consider a fancy meal.
Yeah.
Understand that when you see something that's a fancy meal, I love to eat. Okay? So understand that the portion size, for the most part, is not really large. It was it was
fine for me.
The presentations were really nice.
So the first night we ate at the Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
It was a great the atmosphere in there, the decor took you literally back to Italy. Took you to Italy. It was gorgeous.
Artificial little buildings and stuff like that.
The food was phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely.
I had lobster bisque. It was amazing.
To start with, they had this loaf of bread, I guess you would say, or like this big, you know, it was about, I don't know, frisbee size or something like that. Yes. It was really, really,
so
really good.
I wanted a second one, but I didn't.
And then they did the soup, and I had the chicken parmesan. Yeah. Wow, it was really good. Yeah. I mean, really good. And we had, matter of fact, that's actually what I got when we went to Costa Rica a few months ago at Secrets. And man, it was, it might have even been better than the one at Secrets, and Secrets was phenomenal.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good. It definitely got the triangle paper football grade. So it was really good.
So
had a good choice of desserts. Now they did have, I mentioned portion size. I ordered the mozzarella, and I can't remember what the description said. It said mozzarella and like something about tomatoes and stuff like that. And I knew I'm not a tomato guy. I'm not going to do that. Mozzarella. I usually make the mistake and order that. They bring it out, and it's just the little cubes and stuff like that. And
He's thinking cheese sticks, y'all. Like,
yeah, I'm thinking cheese sticks.
You get it Sonic.
Yeah, so something like that. So yeah, I'm always wrong on that.
Wrong.
But it was good.
It was good.
It was one of those things to where when I first got it, I kind of made a weird face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I actually sent a picture of it to my daughter because she knows how I am with food and everything. And so it was good. The food was really, really good. Enjoyed everything that we had. What'd you have for the meal?
Mahi.
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
I loved it.
All right, good. Yeah, there was.
I loved it.
The desserts were really good. I can't remember exactly what we had.
Tiramisu. We had tiramisu and some kind of chocolate something.
Now keep this in mind. This is an all-inclusive. So if you do all-inclusives, you go in, and I realize that when you're going to somewhere, back at home or whatever, you walk in and like, I'm not sure if I want dessert. You get dessert because you've already paid for it, so take advantage of it.
So the second night, we had the Asian restaurant, and again, amazing.
Yes, absolutely.
We got a lot.
Yeah, we filled up the table.
Yeah.
We filled up the table. Goodness, they were delicious.
Yeah,
I mean, they were
good.
Truly, really, really good.
I got the shrimp on a stick. It was really good as well.
It was
we
good.
had some sushi. Chris is not a sushi person.
Nope, God gave us fire for a reason. We cook our food.
We had some sushi, and then we had a poke bowl, and Chris had a steak.
Yeah.
What about your steak?
I think I had 2 steaks. Is that where I got 2? I got 2 of those.
Yeah,
it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And maybe like a sweet and sour chicken. I think we had that.
It's like a honey chicken.
Really good. But the steak, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Everything we had was great. I mean, the soup just everything. It was really,
really
good.
good.
And of course, we had a plate full, a table full, and it was good stuff.
It was good. It was really great. It was one of our favorite nights, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to go against what all the people on YouTube said, that the food was just mediocre. I don't feel like it was mediocre. I feel like it was really, really good.
Yeah. And the food was better than what we'd been told, so that was, so that was nice. And I mean, and the comparisons we're making is, we've been to Secrets, we've been to Sandals, we do, Royal Caribbean or Disney cruises and all the different, things that go along that. So we've been to several different ones.
Yeah.
And so, of course you've done, Fives and, all the, just about it, I don't know, Margaritaville and all these other ones or whatever. So whatever. But I mean, it was good. It was good.
It was very good. It got the fillers thumbs up.
But overall, this place was good.
Quality, yeah.
It was a very good value for what we were doing.
Yes.
The facility was wonderful.
Another thing, we booked last minute.
Yes.
We booked at the very last minute.
We literally a week. Literally a week or less.
Yeah, a week.
Or maybe less.
We booked it. Well, yeah, we booked
less.
We booked it on Saturday. We left on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was literally last minute. The experience was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. We needed the getaway time, and we were very rested when we came home.
It was nice.
It was a very
and
nice
I was telling her, we were looking through some pictures and everything, and you could see the difference on our faces from when we got there and when we left. Which ones we looked the most rested and everything, and like when we got there, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
I was rested after my massage. I'm just saying.
I felt like a train wreck, but when we left, we felt great.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice. So, take advantage of stuff like this anytime that you can to get away, stuff like that. Take advantage of it because we don't necessarily live forever, and so take advantage of stuff. You go and check out some other cultures, check out some other stuff, try some new foods, even though some may be nasty, but give it a chance. That type of stuff. Spend some time together. For us, this was our 30th anniversary, and it was great to be able to get away together. We have a busy house. And this last year, we've had some stressful things that's gone on.
If you watch our channel, you know that we've been kind of out of pocket for the past 8 months.
Yeah.
My dad had gotten sick and passed away, so we needed this much. There was a much needed getaway, and we took advantage of it.
Yeah. So do that, but do that anytime you get a chance because I had you may have. I've mentioned this on other videos before, but I had a guy that told me years ago that to spend as much time you can with your spouse. They don't lives don't last forever, kids move out and you're still with your spouse, so you need
still
to
gotta look at you every day.
You still got to deal with me. So you gotta so try to keep that time together, keep it as precious as you can, and do it as often as you can.
Thanks for joining us today on Travel in a Minute. Join us next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.